like it a lot.
Mona, you are funny.
I'm good at it too, though.
Yeah, there was no shade. I'm saying I'm really glad you joined the whole squad.
Most of it, like, I'm very good at like being shady, throwing little jabs too.
You are funny and you are smart.
I'm very good at it.
All right, man, it's been a good show. We've done some good work here
What are you
today.
trying to say?
Very funny and smart. I agree with you.
How you know I'm smart?
Because you said it, and I agree, and I heard you talk.
You heard me talk. What did I say today that made you think I'm smart?
So we could talk about that on Patreon, but I think you're very smart.
I don't think you think I'm smart.
You crazy.
All right,
I don't think you know nothing about it.
We're going to get to it in the group chat.
Yeah,
we're going to get to it in the group chat.
Yeah.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. This beef is going to be interesting in the long haul. And of course, right now, I think Mona will be the victor, but let me give an explanation real quick. Flip piggybacks off of Melissa Ford. Whenever he doesn't have anything to contribute to the pod, and I'm saying this while giving Flip credit, because whenever Flip talks about his children and family, people don't give him this credit, but he often knows what he's talking about. He has the most experience because he's been married for over half his life. So he gives astute points when it comes to family and things like that. So I don't want to make it seem like he's not contributing to anything. But whenever he feels he's not contributing enough, Melissa was his punching bag. She was an easy target. And initially, she was taking all of it. She was going with all the jokes, laughing at everything that was being thrown in her direction. So it was easy. And then over time, he just continued and it got worse and worse. And she wasn't able to take the jokes as much. Mona is not going to allow Flip to use her as a punching bag at all. She's going to put him in his place every single time to the point where I already know Mona and Flip is going to be a bunch of my titles going forward. Flip has to figure out if he's going to continue to be a co-host on the show, how to mesh with everybody up there, because he's clearly having issues with everyone. He even had an issue with Parks, and I made a big deal out of that. They didn't make a big deal out of that. Parks' tone didn't make a big deal out of that. I was just speaking to what happened. Of course, they brought it up to him, and he said he reviewed the show afterwards, and he felt a kind of way. If you're going to feel a kind of way about anybody, you're going to have to say it in real time, A, and B, everybody's lease with you has gotten way shorter if there's any left at all. So Mona is coming up here and exacerbating everything. But I don't want to solely focus on Mona and Flip, because that one was easy to spot out. The one that nobody's going to be talking about as of yet is Mark versus Mona. She already said or alluded to not wanting to meet her idol because of how, I guess, he lives isn't according to how she felt he should live. But Mark was throwing shots at Mona already, right in her face, and I don't know if she was catching them. And then at the end of the show, she was saying that she was catching all the shots, so maybe she'll run it back and catch what Mark was doing. But Mark belittles everyone he talks to. He does it so much, and he just does it in real life. I was laughing the whole time he was talking to me on the phone while he was throwing shots in my direction. So it was like, damn, I can only imagine how it would be on the show. So for this to be Mona's first appearance, she's not going to be privy to it. And I know this because she's the one that called for a huddle in a meeting to get alluded to when things were going to happen and the inside jokes that they have. So if she feels that they have inside jokes that is going over her head already, Mark is the type to be witty enough to get a joke off right in your face. And I don't know if Mark is as confident in her potting abilities and her ability to mesh with the rest of the cast like everyone else is. And considering how quote unquote, because it was a little jittery, but I'm just going to say it, rocky her first appearance was, he might have some credence to what he's saying, but she's going to catch that next time, and she's going to shoot in his direction. So I'm going to be curious if Mark is going to play nice with her initially, or if he's going to go all gas. And how will Mona fight back versus Mark? So that's the debate or the verses that I want to see, and I'm going to be looking forward to. But Mona coming on the pod literally has everyone's head on a swivel. It's crazy. Ish is already potting better because he doesn't seem tense at all, and it's not going to be tense with him and Mona because Joe's not going to put Mona on Ish. So he could just be himself once again. Ice, and there's another one. Ice doesn't like Mona, guys. He does not like Mona. And Mona's going to pick up on that eventually. And she's going to fire at Ice. And that is going to turn this pod up. Because what happens when Ice can't talk to Joe to get her to stop clowning on him? Or, even worse, he does talk to Joe and he does talk to Mona. Mona's going to let it be known, or Joe's going to say it on the pod to where everybody will be able to pick it up that, oh shit, Ice talked to him behind the scenes. So not only is Mona going to go at Flip, Mona's going to eventually go at Mark, and Mona and Ice is going to be a thing. Oh my goodness, I am looking forward to the future of the pod just like that. It's crazy because I was complaining for the past 2 weeks. Like, damn, where's Melissa? And I absolutely know now that a female's presence is needed on the pod. What she contributes to the pod is entirely up to the female on the pod. But I'm going to be curious to see how long Mona lasts one day a week. And I'm curious to see if she's going to be on this Patreon or not, because that's going to be very telling. And then we'll have to look towards that going forward. But I am going to look or dig deeper into her Breakbeat Media contract and her previous show that apparently she got canned from. I need to dig into Mona's past to see what it is that she's actually going to be bringing over here, because it's sitting in my mind. A lot of the audience is saying she's not going to mesh well. They don't know who Mona really is, and all I can go on based off of is what I've seen of her on here, the clips of her show, and a couple of episodes that I've actually watched of Don't Call Me White Girl. So this dynamic is crazy how one hiring can change so much of the pod. The last time somebody got hired, they had to get hired in a pair, and it was 2 big names. So sheesh. Well, I can't say that because Mark came by himself too. So we'll see if Mona has the same impact that Mark had, even higher, or if this is just another elevation towards the show. And once again, the fight towards equity comes into play, because now Joe has another successful podcaster on the show, someone that was running their own ship, someone that is still running their own ship, but we'll see for how long. Because if Mona comes to 2 days a week and does main episodes and Patreons, oh man, we're definitely gonna have to dig into those contracts. And Joe and Mona letting it be known that she got a bad to come over here. Is that COE, or is that really in the play? Because everybody's already questioning how much they're receiving, how much everybody else is receiving. Is everybody receiving equal pay? Do we all have equal contracts? But once they display that they don't, it's just going to cause even more tension. But I appreciate y'all, man. Hopefully I watched this episode. Overall, it was a good episode. Everybody's going to learn to pick their spots. Everybody's going to eventually learn how to mesh with each other. And it'll cause the JBP to get an uptick. But y'all let me know in the comments. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rocking. You already know what it is over here. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.